All right, so we've taken a look at that challenge problem that I gave you last week, and that's leading us into one of our final topics this year. It's a 3-variable and 3-equation system. There's multiple different ways to solve these, including what we're going to be doing, our basic algebraic substitution elimination, but there's also what are called linear matrices and all kinds of other things. So let's take a look at a few examples and see how this is going to work. I'm going to be setting this up so that it's very systematic, and that's to be able to benefit those of you who need that type of approach whenever you're dealing with these types of equations. Some of you are going to be able to see ways to combine the equations that will allow you to come up with faster solutions. That's fine, but in general, let's try and follow these steps. So we're going to have 3 equations now, or more on our worksheet. You'll see that later on. You're going to choose your first variable to eliminate. You're going to combine 2 of the equations to eliminate that variable. Call that equation 4. Choose 2 different original equations and make sure you eliminate the same variable you did the first time. We'll call that equation, equation 5. We'll then take equations 4 and 5 and put them together to come up with our first solved variable. We'll plug that answer back into one of 4 or 5 to solve for our second variable, and then we'll take both of those solutions and plug them into one of the original 3 to be able to come up with our final solution. This does actually represent a 3-dimensional system, so our answer does still need to be written in coordinate form. However, these coordinates are 3-variable. Just write them alphabetically. So for my first example, I've chosen these 3 equations, which you're seeing I'm labeling as 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to choose to eliminate the x variable. You can, I think, see so far that there's going to be so many different ways to tackle these problems. So I'm doing this by the process of elimination. I'm multiplying the top equation by 6. I come up with 10y plus z is equal to a negative 19. That's equation 4. I've already used 1 and 2, so now I'm going to use 1 and 3 for my second, I lost my train of thought, for my second way of looking at these equations. I put them together and I get equation 5, 3y plus 3z is equal to negative 3. Like we did in grade 10, I now treat it with basic elimination. I solve, I get y equals negative 2. I plug that back into, I chose equation 5. I get z is equal to 1. And then I take both of those and I go all the way back to an original equation. I'm choosing equation 1, and I solve and I get x equals 3. So x, y, z is listed as 3, negative 2, 1. Second example. I'll get you to copy down the equation, and then I'd invite you to pause the video and try it yourself, and then come back and watch the solution. So here we go with our solution. So we're going to choose to eliminate the c this time. Why not? Equation 1 is going to be as is. Equation 2 I need to multiply by 3 so that the c's will cancel. This gives me my equation 4. I take my second and third equations this time. Again, as long as I'm using, in this case, as long as I'm using that equation 3, it doesn't matter whether I put it with 1 or 2. But again, I have to eliminate the c. These equations, 4 and 5, I put together, basic grade 10 material. I'm getting a negative 6a for both. I subtract and I get b is negative 1. This time I'm going into equation 4. I come up with a is equal to 1, and then all the way back up to the original equation 2, plug them all in, and I get that c is equal to 2. So my solution, again, 3 variables, looks like this. There's a worksheet on Google Classroom. It'll take you a little bit of time, but it's not too bad. Enjoy it.